In this video, I went out with the Sony 18-135 OSS lens on the A6700 to see how well this lens performs as an all-in-one solution for travel vlogging. I will show how this lens performs for both video and photos, and I've included the footage taken with this light and versatile lens. I did not run any of this footage through Catalyst Browse or other image stabilization software because I did not want the stabilization crop to skew these comparisons. For comparison, I'll show both wide angle and then zoomed in to highlight what the single mounted lens is capable of without needing to change lenses. So a while back when I purchased the Sony A6700, I decided to get the 18-135 lens instead of the 16-50 because the bundle price was so much less. For a comparison, the lens price if purchased separately is $648 USD. But if you bundle it with a camera like the A6700, the lens price is only $400, saving $248 USD. Some information on this lens: it's a manual zoom lens with a range of 18-135, which with the Sony APS-C 1.5x crop equates to 27 to 202 millimeters. On top of that, you can use the Sony Clear Image Zoom, which is a near lossless Sony digital zoom option, which will extend the zoom even further. For photos, you can do 2x in JPEG. So some information about the lens. The lens weight is 11.5 ounces or 326 grams. The size is 2.65 inches by 3.46 inches or 67.2 by 88 millimeters. The lens is variable aperture 3.5 to 5.6. Now that we're done with going over the overview of the lens, let's show some footage here. So this first example is the Lighthouse at 18 millimeters, which is an equivalent of 27 millimeters, and then zoomed into 135, which is an equivalent of 202 millimeters. This does not have the clear image zoom turned on. So this is just with the standard zoom. So it's 18, which equals 27 millimeters on APS-C. We'll just get in here on zoom in here on part of it. You can see the detail that it gives. Like I said, it's a super light lens. Here's another example. We'll zoom in on the people there from across the harbor. It's actually pretty amazing how light this is and how far it can zoom in and hold the clarity. So here's vlogging with it. This is at 18, which equals 27, which is a little bit tight. Sorry, I'm trying to get the lighthouse and there's a sun glare. So right there is actually pretty good. So this is 18 millimeters. 27 millimeter equivalent. Here's the harbor entrance at the wide side at 18 millimeters. And here's manually zooming in to 135. You can see how versatile this is. And it's a really, really light lens. So it really makes carrying it around really easy for a full day out shooting both photos and videos. There's wide angle out further than it on the peninsula. And zooming into 135, you can actually see all the rivets in the actual lighthouse. Here's Lake Michigan. If you wanted to actually zoom in on. There's not a lot of waves today, but you can see some water hitting the brakes. The rocks there. You can zoom in on that rock. So you can see here I'm way down on the rocks on the shores of Lake Michigan. You can see the lighthouse is actually right here. One of the inlets is here, the other one's there. So if I wanted to zoom in on the green one here, the 135 comes in so handy. And if we want to get on the lighthouse, there's one bird who's way out there. We can zoom in, give you an example. This is full just the lens. I just noticed that the actual moon's out there. at the kite there. So this is a Kenosha Harbor. You can see with the 18mm, you can definitely get most of it in and definitely useful. But then if you really want to zoom in on something, we'll pick this house back here. The lens just really shines for doing that. Let's see what else we can see. Gas pumps, breaker flags, docks. Here's another great example. Zoom in on the flag here. Or on this. Or the actual clock tower there. Let's zoom in on the clock face here. You see the actual type behind it. Here's another good example of this lens. That was wide, and now zooming in on the Streetcar. That's way down there at 135 now. Here's fully zoomed in and then going to the wide side. Here's a Streetcar of Kenosha. So this is as wide as it gets, which you can see is definitely well worth it. And then we'll zoom into 135 here. Here's a good example of pulling the focus there. There's a park area. And on the actual statue, you can actually zoom in on the face. Here I am at the other side of the harbor now. You see another streetcar's coming. So we'll zoom in when he gets to the center there. So this is ultra wide. Walking out to the Lighthouse, here's at 18mm and showing how much you can zoom in with the 135. So this concludes the video reviewing the Sony 18-135 lens for APS-C cameras. Hopefully the video shows you everything that this lens can do. I was really surprised with how light it is and how versatile it is, because you can carry it all day, but you actually get pretty decent wide. And then with the zoom all the way to 135, you can really get a lot of coverage from this one lens without having to carry multiple lenses or having to swap it out. Thanks for watching the video. So here's some photos, 18mm to 135 and then clear image zoom. Click the like button if you enjoyed this video and click subscribe to let me know that you like this content. Thanks for watching. Bye.